Hello you plonkers and welcome back to another video on the Druzy channel. I've got to be a bit quiet today because it's 9:30 at night and I'm in a hotel room in the middle of New South Wales. I'm at the under 15s championships right now, so I can't be too loud, but I thought I'd record 9 things we learned because the people bloody love it. I was almost not going to do one of these, but I thought the plonkers at home want one. So make sure you smash that like button to make me know that my time was well spent making this video for y'all. Subscribe if you're new. Drop a comment down below from what you learned from this round, and let's get into the bloody video. Number 1, no team deserved to win this game. I went to this game on Friday night, Richmond versus Freo. I was up and about for it. Don't get to see Freo play away too much. Come out in the first quarter and we were looking good. I was like, yep, cool, this is going to be a good game of footy. Friday night, prime time. The Dockers are going to show the competition what we're bloody about. And then a few mistakes just shifted the momentum. That Alex Pearce miss kick straight to Shai Bolton runs into an open goal. You could sort of just see some heads drop after that. And then the second quarter was pretty much all Richmond. Freo didn't have much of it at all. But in the past, I've seen Freo come out in the second half and dominate sides. So I thought, light work, the Docker boys will come out, kick some snags, get a bit of a buffer on this lead, and then hopefully cruise home to victory. But we just could not score at all. Our forward craft is absolute porridge. We had most of the possession in that third quarter, but could do nothing going forward of centre at all. I don't know what it is, and I don't want to single players out, but season after season after season, you hear people saying Taberner's not good enough. You know, Banfield's pretty how you going, Frederick's hit and miss. So these are going to be the players that, if we are going to win a flag, they need to lift, because if the team isn't playing well, they are redundant. They play their best footy when the Dockers are flying. So it's on these guys to lift. And we just had nothing going forward all day. We didn't deserve to win the game. We didn't do enough to deserve to win. And I don't think Richmond really did either. So it was a bit of a weird game. Don't really know how to process it at all, but I'll take the 2 points after that performance because it was garbage. Number 2, the Hawks are starting to build some consistency. I know they've only played Adelaide, West Coast and North Melbourne in the last 3 weeks, but they have won 3 games in a row for the first time this season, the Hawks. And we've seen that their best is good enough to beat the top sides. What they haven't been able to do is bounce back the week after a big win and beat a side. So that consistent quarter-to-quarter, week-to-week effort is what the Hawks have been lacking this season. And the last 3 weeks they've done it regardless of the opposition. The ability to win a game, go again, win a game, go again, win a game and go again is something they haven't been able to do this season. And it's just the consistency that the Hawks are needing to get under their belt before heading into another year next season to get that consistency against some better opposition. Number 3. Buddy beats God. Lance Franklin moved up to the top 5 all-time leading goal scorers in the AFL, passing Gary Ablett Sr. And if you go back and watch Gary Ablett Sr. highlights, there is a reason they call this bloke God. He could do things that no one else could ever do to a football. And Buddy Franklin, a player that we're all familiar with, has just passed him on the all-time goal scoring leaders. He goes into the top 5. I think he's only 20 behind Doug Wade, who's in 4th. It'll be interesting to see what happens after this year for Buddy, given that he's out of contract but still playing good footy, because realistically, he could play for another 2 years and make an impact at any side, really. So we'll see if he continues to climb up this list. He'll probably get into the top 4 quite easily. He needs about 20 years, I said, to get into that top 4. So if he plays on next year, he should get that quite easily. And if he can play on for years to come, which I think we all know he can do and make an impact at any club because he's one of the greatest players of this generation, he could climb that list even further. But time will tell what happens with Buddy. Number 4, name a better forward line. I'll wait. There's been questions that have been thrown up from some plonkers saying, do Geelong have the best forward line? And try to actually think of a forward line that's better than Geelong's, because I don't think there is. When you've got 2 Coleman medalists in there, Tyson Stengel, who has been one of the best small forwards in the competition this year, learning from Eddie Betts down at Geelong. And then you've got Gary Rowan, who's an absolute ball, and Brian Myers, who's just fills that extra spot. He's serviceable. He's not an all-star by any means, but you know, he does the job. And when you're playing with forwards like that, he doesn't get exposed. But is there a better forward line than Geelong? No, I don't believe so. Hawkins and Cameron combined for 7. We had Stengel kicking 2, Rowan kicking 2, Myers kicking 1 as well. And I'll compare it to the Freo analogy that I was talking before about how we have no forward craft and didn't deserve to win that game. If you just swap forward lines, it's going to be a different result because Port Adelaide were coming hot at Geelong. They were competitive for 4 quarters. It was only 2 goals in the end. Port really tested them. And if you don't have a forward line like this, you're not going to win games of football. So the Geelong forwards were the difference in this game for me. And it shows the importance of 2 gun key forwards, a dangerous mid-sized forward, and then a little goal sneak in the forward pocket or 2 as well. So Geelong, best forward line in the comp. Can you name a better one? I don't think there is. Number 5. Brisbane get back to the grind. It was an easy win against GWS last week. The week before that, they lost to Essendon with all those outs that they had. And the week before that, they pumped the Bulldogs. The week before that, this is great content. Just read off the AFL Live app, bro. I'm away, right? I'm on work duties, so allow me here. But it's been a while since the Lions have had to actually grind out a result. Gold Coast come back after that very disappointing loss last week against Essendon, come up to the Q Clash, and they gave their absolute all. That was literally the best effort that Gold Coast could have given. For the first time in over a month, they had to actually grind out a result. And it's games like these where you have to dig deep, play your best footy to get the win, where you probably played back into form a little bit as well. It was a good win for the Lions against a hungry Gold Coast side. Number 6, the Dogs finally get their revenge. In games when a premiership was on the line, the Bulldogs got pumped. In the first game of the season when they were meant to bounce back and show that they are of the calibre that Melbourne are, they lost convincingly in round 1. Fast forward to just about the end of the season when the Bulldogs season is hanging in the balance. They're just clawing onto the 8. They just pull out this result which just throws them right back into the top 8 picture. And they've won the grand final from 8th position before, so we can't write them off. They're not a great regular season side, a lot of people tend to say. But what a win it was. Went right down to the wire. Jamarra Ugle-Hagan had his breakout game. The number 1 pick, showed why he was the number 1 pick. And they finally got one over the D's after 2 very disappointing losses in the past 12 months. And this one throws them right back into that finals race. It was a massive win. It was a great game of footy. If the Dogs can make it into the 8, maybe they can, ruffle some feathers. But this season I haven't been too convinced from them. It was by far the best win they've had all season. So it's a good time to be a Doggies fan this week. Congratulations after lots of misery this season. Number 7. GWS are tragic. Didn't get to watch this game, so I couldn't really learn much, but I just wanted to say, how bad have GWS been? Like, they just get, thrown out, disregarded because they're not a massive side. But the list quality that they have is still as good as it was in 2019 when they were in the grand final. They've had a few months under this new coaching panel as well, so you'd think at least something would start to click. At least they would be, competitive. But Carlton just blew them out of the water. They've been pumped in the last 3 now, the Giants. And it's just like, what is actually going on at this club? They sacked their coach and they've really shown no signs of improvement since. Like, what are they waiting for to happen to make them a great side again? Because they've got all the personnel there to do it. It's just another game for the Giants that'll never be remembered. And it's just a 6-goal loss against Carlton on a Sunday afternoon at Marvel. But it's just sad at this point. Like, come on, pull your socks up, GWS. Number 8. Oh my days, fam. The disbelief when I got back from my football game today, I was in the sun, I was, doing my job as a strength and conditioning coach, get back, chuck on Collingwood versus Essendon, it's half time, I'm like, all right, sweet. Just chilling. Next thing I wake up, Jamie Elliott's being interviewed and it's the best game of the season. He's kicked a goal after the siren. The amount of football that I watch to miss a game like this, I am seething. From what I did see, little glimpses of the match, Essendon fought back in that second quarter. Collingwood started out really strong. Essendon, they've been in good form recently and they finally found that in that second quarter. A bit of a slow start and then they led for all that third quarter. Even in the fourth, they pretty much led for the whole bloody second half. And to lose it in the fashion that they did, the last kick of the game, the last time the ball left a boot of the player on that field, was the time that you lost the lead after leading for a majority of the second half. It is heartbreaking. But those bloody Magpies just keep finding a way to win. 9 on the trot now for the Magpies. You could have expected them to lose this game after the last 2 weeks. Sort of grinding past North, grinding past Adelaide, and then coming up against an in-form Essendon. They come out firing in the first quarter, and then to just have that belief when you're trailing for a large majority of the second half that you can still get the job done and get the win. And what a win it was. I've loved watching Collingwood this season. They've got a tough month coming up, and it'll be good to see how they get tested against the top sides. But yeah, what a win. Unreal. And number 9, St Kilda's midfield wins the day. I'm not here to shit on West Coast. Obviously, I've done plenty of that in the past, but just look at the midfield comparison here. And you've got Luke Shuey, who's got hamstrings made of wheat bix. Jai Collier, first game, who's been playing good to his credit. Tim Kelly, bit hit and miss. You've got Jack Redden in there as well. Coming up against someone like a Jack Steele, like a genuine A-grade elite talent in the AFL. That was just the difference from what I saw today in this game. Luke Shuey, Tim Kelly, Jack Redden just aren't in that same pedigree as Jack Steele, who had 40 touches today. And the centre bounce is where lots of games are won or lost. You watch where the momentum swings, and it's the team that keeps getting the centre bounce to gain the territory forward. That was the difference today. The difference in the pedigree of the midfield, I think, won the Saints the game. And that's going to wrap up 9 things we learned from round 19, boys and girls. I'm sorry it's a bit different today, but as I said, I can't control these things. I'm on the other side of the country in a hotel room, so I don't have as much time to prepare the video as I usually would, but I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless. I appreciate you for watching it. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment down below what you learned, and I'll see you next time. Take care, you bonkers.